You're listening to Brave Girls with Tracy Imm, where we choose to empower you to be a better leader, mentor, and coach in the world. We'll share stories of people who have achieved great heights by overcoming adversity and rising to the challenge, all while pursuing their passions. These courageous people will inspire you to have faith in yourself and take bold action. Right here with the host of Brave Girls, Tracy Imm.
Episode 52, Make a Commitment with Tracy Imm. Hey there, Brave Girls. It's me, Tracy Imm, your host, here on the mic today. And drum roll, please, because we've hit the 1-year mark of podcasting and the creation of a global high vibe community. And I have to tell you, it's been a personal growth experience for me as I step into a newer and better version of myself. I'm so incredibly grateful to you, my listeners, for being on this incredible journey with me. You're in for a treat, as today's episode is a solo one where I share from my heart where I've been, where I am today, and where I'm headed, and why this show means the world to me. I want to show you what's possible for you when you surrender into all that the universe has in store for you. So no matter where you are in the world today or what you have going on, I want you to know that you are loved and that you can heal whatever ails or troubles you. It's been a true privilege and honor to be able to serve Brave Girls globally with my show. I'm humbled by all that the guests have shared with me, and then the positive changes that listeners have experienced as a result of the podcast. Today, I'm just basking in the glow of producing 52 episodes, of course, with the help of my virtual assistant, Jamie Hovey. And shout out to her for her technical audio editing skills and assistance with social media graphics. Together, we have effectively sent the message of hope and inspiration to listeners in 48 countries. This totally blows me away. The internet has truly democratized our world, and I'm so grateful for that fact. I also want to express my gratitude to the 51 women who stepped forward and said yes when I asked them to be interviewed about their story. I asked them to share what they have learned. Each and every one of them allowed themselves to be vulnerable and to show up as their authentic self during the conversation. When I think of the overarching themes that emerged in all of the episodes, I have to say the predominant one was, "This too shall pass," a phrase that my grandmother continued to instill in me when I would go to her kitchen table and ask for her wisdom and advice. So on today's episode, I want to share more of my Brave Girl story with you and what I've learned about myself and the world when I decided to make a commitment to becoming a female podcaster. So I love to teach others how to live their best life now, in case you were wondering. And my story goes like this. I've been doing the corporate dance for decades. I've consulted to C-suites at some of the world's largest global players in the energy industry, aerospace and defense sector, financial services, equipment leasing, and senior housing. I most recently served as a political appointee for Maryland's Governor Larry Hogan, where I led public affairs for the Maryland Insurance Administration, which is the state's regulator of the $28 billion with a B, insurance industry. Being in a public service role was truly amazing, and I'm grateful that I had this opportunity to serve the citizens of our state. And it was while I was in this role that I made the decision to launch the podcast. I really wanted to send positive energy out into the world, and I know now that I did. So I've spent most of my career working with CEOs as a trusted advisor, which is often a coveted position, where I was leading large-scale business transformations. And the teams that I led were asked to execute strategic communications and change management programs for these organizations. My blend of business, technology, and communications leadership expertise is what allowed me to quickly connect all the dots and rapidly get tangible business results in the area of revenue growth, employee engagement, and bottom line profitability. I've often been told that I was the secret ingredient that propelled organizations forward with their customers, their employees, and their shareholders. I've worked on some of the largest global business transformation projects, and I loved being a change agent and communications team leader. In 2012, I embarked on a teaching career that has allowed me to instruct over 150 people, mostly women, in the field of marketing and communications. I created online courses, in-person classes, and workshops for my alma mater, Western Maryland College, now McDaniel College, and for Notre Dame of Maryland University. And I have to say, I'm so proud of my students and what they've achieved as writers, public speakers, and entrepreneurs. They inspire me to do better and to teach more. But my biggest personal transformation occurred when I began to work with some of the world's leading transformational coaches, people like Jenny Fennick, Gabby Bernstein, and David Nagel. I've learned so much from my teachers about self-love, forgiveness, mindset, and marketing. And I'm now more comfortable being visible and sharing my voice with the world. I know that I'm loved and that I'm safe. They taught me how to take lots of little right actions, and the universe has rewarded me accordingly with clients, global travel, and so much joy. I also love to mentor people in my field, and I'm so proud that many of my direct reports and students have gone on to positions of greater responsibility for Fortune 500 companies. My other mentees have started their own very successful public relations agencies or even seven-figure freelance businesses. It's been really gratifying to be part of their journey as their mentor. In terms of education, I say I have more degrees and certifications than I will ever need. I'm the eternal student. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in Communications Systems Analysis from McDaniel College, an MBA with a concentration in Marketing and Management from the University of Baltimore. I also, because one master's isn't enough, had to get a second one, a Master's of Science in Business and Technology Management from Stevenson University. And again, I love certificates. So I am an accredited business communicator, and I'm also accredited in public relations. I'm an active member of the International Association of Business Communicators and the Public Relations Society of America. I've also completed Gabby Bernstein's Spirit Junkie Masterclass training and Jenny Fennick's Coach Training School. I was recognized by the Daily Record, which is a business and legal publication in Maryland, in both 2017 and again in 2019 as one of Maryland's top 100 women for my professional achievements, my contributions to my community, and as a mentor to other women through my teaching and my podcasting efforts. So enough about my story. Let's talk about what happens when you make a commitment. So you have to start with understanding universal laws to really fully get this principle. So there's the law of cause and effect, which says that every cause has its effect and every effect has its cause. When we understand that we are the first cause, we understand that energy always returns to its source of origination as results, circumstances, and environment. So when you want to change the effect, you have to stay out of resistance to the change in order for the cause to shift. For example, when you take 100% responsibility for all of your life and you own it, then you can cause incredible things to occur. The law of cause and effect also has a subsidiary law known as the law of psychological reciprocity, which says that everything you put out comes back to you. And the creation of this podcast has really reinforced that law in my experience. The unintended consequences have been new relationships, business partnerships, and opportunities beyond my wildest dreams, and even travel to new places. So there's actually another subsidiary law to the universal law of cause and effect, and it's called the law of commitment. And it states, we commit whether we are conscious of it or not. So in the case of the Brave Girl podcast, I made a conscious commitment to the production of the show, despite all the resistance that I faced initially. I had to overcome imposter syndrome and the who am I to create a podcast and who will listen to what I produce, and all of the other gremlins that creep in when we step into something new and unknown. I also wondered if I was good enough to create something that would be valuable to my audience. In looking back, I realized how ridiculous all of those thoughts really were. Clearly, there's a need in the world for women having real conversations with other women about real issues and situations. I also wondered if creating a podcast would even be a good use of my time, energy, and money. You see, I was working full time. I debated if I could create a sustainable stream of content that was both engaging and energizing to you and to me. I discovered that I can, and that podcasting is a medium that I love. So I want to tell you what I did and what you can do when you make a decision to make a commitment. Okay, so the first step is you have to set your intention, or sankalpa, as they say in yogic circles. So my intention was to create a global platform that showcased female leaders and their stories and what they're here to teach other women. I wanted to profile their side hustles and entrepreneurial ventures so more abundance could come their way. I also wanted to send positive, high vibe content out into the world, which has become so divisive. I'm all about peace, love, joy, and inclusive leadership. Part of the process is to remember to be unattached to the outcome. So, being unattached doesn't mean you don't have to work, it just means you can't force what the outcome will be. So, you have to do the work, you have to make a decision, and then take inspired action each and every day, especially as a podcaster, and then any other major commitment that you make, for example, in a marriage or a relationship with another person. You also have to show up even when you don't feel like it. So there were times I was tired, I was hungry, I felt broke, I was frustrated, I was depressed, I was angry, I was resentful. But during this past year, I think I experienced a very wide range of emotions and situations, but I decided to push through and continue to visualize my listeners and the impact my show could have. I think it's always important to know and remember your why. So, as Simon Sinek teaches, you have to have a strong why. For me, I wanted to get to the end of my life and know that I gave the best effort that I could in making a difference in other people's lives, and that my podcast could be one vehicle for that legacy. The other thing I learned is that you can course correct your intentions as change happens. And guess what? Change is always happening, so get used to it. So what I want to leave you with is this. Just start. Whatever it is you desire, and let the universe take over. Part of making a commitment is getting comfortable when things get uncomfortable, and that's inevitable. So I had to break through many of my fears during this past year, and I am now a lot more comfortable doing things I never knew how to do before, and the universe has rewarded me accordingly. The universe will send you blessings beyond your wildest dreams or imagination in the form of clients, partnerships, friendships, opportunities, relationships, a support network, and more. I call these unintended consequences, and I'm so grateful for each of them because I had them as a result of creating this podcast. The law of psychological reciprocity says that everything you put out comes back, but not always from the person you originally put it out to. So when something negative comes your way, step aside and let it keep going. You see, all energy returns to its source of origination. I've learned that if I keep putting good out there in the form of this podcast, it always, always, always comes back to me. So as I sit here with evaluating where I am today, I'm refining my sankalpa or intention for year 2 of the Brave Girl podcast. I'm being led to create more solo episodes where I share with you the lessons that I'm learning on my Brave Girl journey, because this is my first year as a full-time entrepreneur. That said, I will continue to publish interviews as I record them because I have so many more amazing souls that I want to profile and showcase as they grow their bodies of work in the world. So here's your call to action, because every good podcaster and marketer knows you have to include this in your episode. So I'd love it if you could tell a friend or coworker about the podcast so we can spread more love and positive vibes out into the world. I'd also really appreciate it if you could take time to leave a review on iTunes. You see, that's how shows get profiled and found, and I want more people to hear the conversations, learn the lessons, and meet the amazing brave girls that are being profiled. I'd also love to hear from you about topics that you'd like to learn more about, so drop me an email at tracy@tracyimm.com. I'm sending you so much light, love, and peace to each and every one of you. And I'm reminding you that I believe in you, in case no one's told you that today. And I want nothing but the best for you in this life. You see, I want more brave girls saying yes to leadership and learning how to be better leaders. I believe we need more women in positions of power and leadership around the globe, in government, not-for-profits, private industry, and as entrepreneurs, as we collectively work towards positive change. You see, we all have so many gifts and talents, and the world needs us now. With that, I say namaste, and remember, make a commitment. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Brave Girls with Tracy Imm as much as I did creating it. Each show is produced with you, the listener, in mind, as you look for inspiration and motivation from other brave souls as you pursue your desires. I'd love to hear your feedback, so please leave me a review on iTunes. I read every one. And check out my website, tracym.com, for more free resources. You can also join my list and sign up for my newsletter right from the homepage. Until next time, stay strong, believe in your dreams, and go do something brave.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode of Brave Girls with Tracy Imm and hope that you enjoyed the show. For more information about today's episode, as well as additional free resources to help you achieve greatness in your life, visit tracym.com and sign up for our mailing list. Until next time, dream big, believe in yourself, and let your brilliance shine as only you can do.